Hello, everybody, and welcome. I am so glad that you are here. And today we're talking about reinvention with intention. So, I've been hearing from so many people that it's either time to ditch the 9 to 5, you don't want to go back to your workplace. You don't want to go back to the job that you had before the pandemic or that you currently have, and that you're really noticing that now is the time that you want to make a change. You're recognizing that you may have wanted to make changes in the past, but weren't quite confident or courageous to make those changes. And now, given what we've been experiencing collectively, there is a real impulse to use this particular time as a catalyst to become more purpose driven and to bring more meaning into your own life. And so I am here to help you. I'm super excited because I have just released a brand new freebie, and I'm going to put it right here into the comments. Brand new freebie called the Reinvention Assessment and Prescription. So I'm essentially giving you a clear-cut guide to making the big leap. And you can get it right now at nancylevin.com/reinvent. And it is completely free. It is my gift to you right now because, like I said, I've been hearing from so many of you around the desire and the wish and the need to create something new in your life. You know, there's been so much talk about the uncertainty, and there's been so much talk about what's life going to look like after. But what I want you to focus on is what is happening in your life right now. You know, this time that we're in is still your life. This isn't about waiting for the pandemic to pass. This isn't about waiting for everything to be over. This is really about how do you make your life meaningful now instead of waiting for some day in the future. You know, especially when we're talking about the uncertainty, the truth of the matter is we've all been living a life of uncertainty. It's just that now it's become more pronounced. And we thought we had control. There was an illusion of control at one time. And now we're actually realizing that there's so much that's left up to chance, which also means that there's so much opportunity. So I want to talk about moving into surrender here. Surrender gets a really bad rap. I look at surrender as being the willingness to release our willful stronghold on needing anything to be any certain way, or really needing everything to be any certain way. What would happen if we could lean into allowing life to unfold as we are making choices and taking actions that move us in the direction of our desires? That's really what it's about. It's about taking the action so that we're not stuck in a standstill. Action will always alleviate anxiety and overwhelm. So this is really about looking at how do I let go of what I thought things should look like, how I thought it should be, and how do I step into what is, and how do I move into having acceptance with that and seeing that when we move into the unknown, when we move into the uncertainty, what happens is that opportunities and options become available to us that we weren't aware of before. So in certainty, we know what we know. And in certainty, things play out in a way that we feel prepared for. However, when uncertainty occurs and when there is an invitation to look at new options, we can spark a curiosity within ourselves that we can start paying attention to that becomes a catalyst for massive change. So that's where we are right now. This time really is here to be a massive catalyst for change. So I want to take just a quick moment and say, hey, hi Teresa, hi Yvette, hello sweet Kelly, hi Colette, hi Fran, welcome, welcome. So again, I've got a brand new freebie that I have just released, and it is targeted to supporting you in finding out where you are in your stage of readiness for reinvention, and then how I can support you in reinventing with intention. So this is about having a clear-cut sense of what's right for you, what's meant for you, what are the roadblocks, what are the obstacles that you want to overcome in order to get where you want to go. Hi, Paulina. Hello, Janice, honey. Welcome, welcome. So let me first remind you, if you have, Ziomara, hi. So if you have not yet grabbed the freebie, nancylevin.com/reinvent, and it is a beautiful PDF guide that will take you through a series of questions. This is really a deep self-inquiry, a deep dive into being able to assess where you are right now in your readiness to make a shift. So you're either, yes, I'm ready, you're ready but with some trepidation, or you might just be in the first early beginning stages of knowing that you want to make a change, but you don't know exactly where you want to go or what the changes that you want to make or the how. Hey Karen, hi Adriana, hey Holly. So I'm here to help you with all of that. So again, as I was mentioning before, to me this is really about stepping into a more meaningful and more purpose-driven life with the freedom to work from anywhere and the freedom to really step into your own gifts and talents and skills that I can help you hone around making significant change in your own life so that you can be of deeper service to others. So again, the Reinvention Assessment and Reinvention Prescription is available to you for free at nancylevin.com/reinvent, because if you've been really dreaming of a reinvention, the time is now. And I want to help you reinvent with intent so that you're really focusing on what is most meaningful for you, so that you are drawing out your own best skills and best talents to put to use, and so that you're not just sort of willy-nilly moving into what's next, but you're moving into it in a progressed series of steps that support you each step of the way. So you might resonate with feeling like it's time to ditch your 9-to-5. You might be wondering how you can use your own personal transformation to support a new career or business or entrepreneurial effort. Or you might be ready for your second act. You might be an empty nester. You might have decided in this choice point in time that you're going to leave behind what you were doing before and step into something new. So wherever you find yourself in your reinvention, wherever you find yourself, whichever phase, whichever place in the process you find yourself, I've got a prescription for you to help you dismantle the blocks that are currently in the way of you stepping into your fullness. So, if you've been with me a while, I'm always going to talk about taking action. I'm always going to talk about change equals vision plus choice plus action. That is the transformation equation. So in order to make a change, we have to have a clear vision of where we want to go, from where we are now to where we want to be. Then we need to be willing to make different choices and take actions that move us in the direction of our desire. And so the Reinvention Assessment is a series of questions to help you gain clarity, so you can tap into the thoughts you might be having around reinventing yourself. And you might even more deeply be tapping into the beliefs around why you don't think you can. So you're going to receive clear results of where you are in your process, where you are on the readiness spectrum, if you will, and we'll identify some key obstacles that might be in the way and how to overcome them. That's what the Reinvention Prescription is. So it's the clear-cut guide to taking your big leap. And this guide is going to help you dismantle the fears, the doubts, the limiting beliefs that are standing in the way of you making the clear decision and getting where you want to go. And I will also be supporting you inside of a pop-up Facebook group. So what that means is it's a group that's just going to exist for a few months, and I'm going to support you inside of that Facebook group around your reinvention specifically. So I'm still coming in here to transform together every week, every Thursday, just like I always do. But I will also be sharing live broadcasts, materials, tips, and tools inside this pop-up Reinvent with Intent group that's really there to prepare you for your true intentional reinvention. So again, this is all coming back to meaning. I've been thinking a lot about this in terms of the way that we relate to happiness and the way that we find purpose in our lives. And I have begun to orient myself more toward meaning than happiness. That I think that there's something there around how do I make myself more meaningful? How do I make my life more meaningful? And how do I make myself available to help provide more meaning for others? And so that's the direction that we're going in here. Let me just take a little moment here. Hi, Fiona. Hi, Holly. Hey, Barbara. Hi, Simona. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Karen. Welcome, welcome. So again, if you've not yet grabbed the freebie, it's nancylevin.com/reinvent. And I really, again, want to be able to support you. There, I'm just going to pop it in again. I want to support you in being able to reinvent with intent. So to me, that means really getting clear around your vision. How do you want to show up? How do you want to work in the world? What do you want your days to be like? What are the priorities for you? What does freedom mean for you? Do you want the laptop lifestyle? Even though we may not be traveling like we used to right now, we can still create an environment where we can work from wherever we want. We can still create a scenario where we're not tied to a certain set of hours or days. We can actually create for ourselves a schedule that exists from a place of our own desire. So this is another boundary conversation. What are the days of the week I want to work? What are the hours I want to work? How do I want to work? What does it look like? Do I want to work one-on-one? Do I want to work with groups of people? Do I want to, and whether it's coaching or not coaching, whether it's consulting, whether it's being an entrepreneur, whether it's creating your new business. I left my very stable, very lucrative, very established career at Hay House after 12 years to go out on my own. So I know a thing or two about leaving safety and security to follow your heart. And I also know a thing or two about making the entrepreneurial experience be more lucrative than a salaried, safe position. So notice what stories come up in your head around, I can't make as much money if I work on my own. I don't have the skills to be able to offer something to people if I worked for myself. Just notice whatever stories arise for you. And we're going to work on dismantling the stories and dismantling the beliefs so that you can actually step into what you want to be doing with your time, what you want to be doing with your energy, what you want to be doing with your life to have greater impact on the world. Hi, Gina. Hi, Karen. Hi, Patricia. Welcome, welcome. So again, we're going to assess where you are in your readiness. Are you ready to take the leap? Are you eager, but you still notice that there's some fear and self-doubt and limiting beliefs holding you back? And you might also be in that place of just starting to put your toe in the water of what's next, what's new, what could I do? And you might even be wondering, and just notice if this resonates, you might even be wondering, how can a people pleaser and a peacekeeper and an overgiver like me do something that follows my dream when I've been so focused on helping everybody else? When I left my job at Hay House, it was a really big step to go stand center stage and say yes to visibility, because I had been behind the scenes. I had been shining the light on everybody else, putting them center stage. And I was really happy doing that for a very long time until I wasn't. And so once that once that desire was born inside of me, I knew I was meant for something more, and I knew I needed to be willing to take a risk. I knew I needed to be able to take a chance on me. Because if I never took the chance, I never would have known. And so many of us get, caught up in the fear of failure. What if this doesn't work? And here's what I want you to know. You can always course correct. You can always make a different choice as you go. Nothing needs to be set in stone. Nothing needs to be final. Nothing needs to be forever. But if you're someone who's woken up like I have in the middle of the night to this voice saying some version of, is this all there is? Or there has to be something more to life than this. Or there has to be some way in which I can provide more impact. Or there has to be a way in which I can actually access more meaning in my own life. Then this is for you. So again, I want you to grab the assessment and get the prescription so that you can find out your reinvention readiness rating and know where you fall in that reinvention readiness spectrum so that you can start to make change right away. So like I said, I've given you a series of questions. This is a self-inquiry, a self-assessment for you to figure out where you are on the spectrum so that then you can step in to making the changes that you want to make. Hi, Adriana. What did you say? The key is to say, I don't have the skill yet, and take it from there. I love that you mentioned that. Something that my dear Louise Hay used to always say, and well into her 80s, and even once she turned 90, people would say, Louise, have you ever done, Louise, do you know how to do this? Or have you ever done this? Or do you do this? And she would always say, not yet. So she wouldn't say no. She would just simply say, not yet. And I always loved that. She was truly the embodiment of a lifelong learner. And it's just about saying not yet. And then figuring out the way to get the skills that we need to move us to where we want to go. Ziomara, I've always been happy helping others make their dreams come true until now. I no longer want to put everyone first. Well, Ziomara, you know you are singing my song. It is time to put yourself front and center. Adriana, today is my birthday and it feels like I have a new life in front of me. Boy, do you ever. It's a perfect invitation here around the reinvention. What do you want the rest of your life to look like? How many ever years we have left? Whether we are just starting out, whether we are looking at the second act or maybe even the third act of life. What do we want the rest of our life to look like? We have so much more control over our life's design than we give ourselves credit for. We're so used to going into the default mode of thinking that life is happening to us, but life is happening for us. We are able to harness and merge desire with action to actually bring in creation, and that's how this time becomes a catalyst for creating the life that we want to be living. And so I want you to start thinking about the ways in which you want to reinvent. And I want you to start even looking at, how do you want your day to look? What do you want your day to look like? What do you want your week to look like? What do you want your month to look like? Just start there. Just start there with that question. How do I want my day to look, my week to look, my month to look? Just start there. So again, if you have not yet grabbed the Reinvention Assessment and Prescription, you can do so right now, completely for free, nancylevin.com/reinvent. And like I said, you'll immediately get the assessment. You can, you'll take it, you'll see where you are on the spectrum. You'll be invited to join our little pop-up Facebook group, and I will meet you in there, but I'll also always be here every Thursday like usual. So I'm super excited to support you in reinventing yourself with intention so that you move yourself in the direction that you want to go. All right, my loves. So lovely to be here with you today, and I will look forward to seeing you next Thursday right here, and I will look forward to seeing you in the pop-up Reinvent with Intent Facebook group as well. Wishing you well. Bye-bye.